Challenges is what makes life interesting. Solving them is what makes life meaningful. You're welcome to Conversations with Michael Ogunshola, the Peak Performance Coach. This is Attaining Peak Performance. A very big thank you to my regular audience, and if it's your first time, thanks for engaging with my content. Attaining Peak Performance is a revolutionary program, like I always say. It's a program designed to transform you from inside out. Talking about transforming us from inside out, I'll be sharing a very powerful concept. And what's that concept? The idea of how to overcome a negative mindset. Our mindset is everything. A thought leader once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence is not an act, but a habit. Somebody said, "As a man thinks in his heart, so he is becoming." Show me your thoughts and I will show you your life. So having this basic understanding is what is making me to share this concept on this day. The concept of mindset is one thing that all leaders, all great men and women, as it were, agree that our mindset influences our action. And as a matter of fact, the world we are living in is a two world at the same time. We live in the world of the intangible, and we also live in the world of the tangible. That is, you have an unconscious mind always working, and you have a conscious mind that you use to make decisions. That conscious mind that used to make decisions is always being influenced by the unconscious mind. And so what I'm sharing with you will help you take charge of your thought life. Have you ever had that before? You have a thought life, and it is that thought life that is shaping you, influencing you, and making you to become who you are right now. Like my opening quote said, challenges is what makes life interesting. I will never want to live a life of no challenge. I will never want to live a challenge-free life, because a challenge-free life is not a good life. Challenges are like the exercise we undergo to build our muscle. When you ask those that are into bodybuilding, they will tell you that moment when your muscles are breaking and hurting you, that is when you need to continue to exercise, because now you are stretching the body beyond its comfort zone and the muscles are forming. So how do I overcome a negative mindset quickly? Understand this, number one. Practice empowering affirmation. Affirmations are words we say to ourselves. Affirmations can be likened to words that we say. For instance, when you look at the word "I am unable" or "I am able," those are affirmations. When you say "I cannot," you are actually affirming. The most powerful affirmations are words like "I am enough," "I can do it," "I believe if you show me, I will do it." You see, when you say those kind of words to yourself, your subconscious mind is listening. And this is something about the subconscious mind that many of us don't know. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a real experience and an imagined experience. So every time you go to think possibilities. Every time you are saying things, say things that are possible, not things that are impossible. So when you practice empowering affirmation, that's number one key to overcoming a negative mindset. Number two, don't dwell on negative thoughts. I take that again. Don't dwell on negative thoughts. Why so? You see, your mind can be likened to, when you look at a bird, you cannot stop a bird from flying over your head, right? But you can stop that bird from nesting on your head. That's also what you can do when it comes to the way you think. How that What I'm saying is, when negative thoughts come, and sure they will come if you live in a real world where there are real people, negative experience, negative emotion, negative feeling, negative thoughts will come. But when they come, how do you approach them? Do you welcome them and dwell on them, or you do not allow them to stay? The idea of dwelling on negative thoughts will ruin you. It will cripple you. Negative thought is limiting. It will begin to point you to how things cannot work. But for every negative thought that comes, replace it with 2 positive ones. The way negative thoughts work is, it gives you the worst case scenario. And when the negative thoughts come presenting you with the worst case scenario, tell yourself, what if it works? 3. Stop negative self-talk. Most of the time when you are talking to yourself, you are listening twice. And when others are talking to you, you are listening once. What do I mean? You have an outer ear and you have an inner ear. So when you allow negative thoughts to fill your heart, what those things you are saying, those limiting talks you are saying to yourself when you are alone by yourself, negative thoughts are like a stream of web. They connect themselves continually. As you think one negative thought, you will say a negative self-talk, and over, then these things begin to spiral. So avoid negative self-talk. Number 4, believe in miracles. Miracles happen every day. Part of what I'm saying is, you might see as if you are going through the worst experience and the worst moments in your life. When I talk about believing miracles, I'm reminded of, one very powerful experience in scriptures, how that a woman had just lost her husband. The husband was a faithful servant of a prophet. This woman cried to the prophet the husband served with all his life before he passed. And she said to that prophet that, now prophet, my husband has passed. He left me with 2 children and he left me with a great debt. And when she reached out to him, and then because of her mindset, she believed in miracle. And the man of God told her, you know what? This is the time for you to experience a miracle. He walked home with her, and together, they began to have this miracle experience where oil began to flow into as many containers as she had. And those oil, after the process of the miracle, she sold them and she paid her debt and she lived on the rest. So miracles happen every day, and I believe in miracles. Lastly, remember, tough times never last, but tough people do. It was Ogunshola that taught us this powerful concept. This is real life. Tough experiences will come, but this is the truth. Tough times will never last, but tough people do. There are people that have been through life-threatening experiences. I'm not making light of your experience, but I want you to remember this. Whatever you are going through now, somebody has been through worse. He made it to the other side, and that is why we celebrate him. You will consider maybe celebrities, or you consider thought leaders or success figures in different industries. You don't want to hear their story. Their story, one of the most inspiring figures I know is Nick Vujicic. Nick Vujicic is only born with a toe. That toe is what he has beneath his body. But is, of course, a transformational speaker. He travels the world. He's gone ahead to do great things despite being born without the arms and the legs. So, tough times will come, but how do you respond to it? I remember Michael Ogunshola, the peak performance coach, saying, peak performance, it is possible.